great. Well, thank you so much, guys. I'm Sriharsha. I run a company called Hyperbound. We started this company around, it's been like 7 to 8 months or so not too long. And the new product we're building, we actually pivoted to this like a month and a half ago, so it's still relatively new. So I want to start off by asking, how many of you have run a sales team before? Damn, that's crazy. So you've been on a sales team? You just haven't done it.
Oh, been on the sales team?
How many people have been on a sales team?
Everyone.
Cool. And how many of you have been like an SDR before? You guys know what that means? Okay. So basically, essentially what we're building is, it's a tool that allows you to train your salespeople for the phones, right? So I don't know how familiar you guys are with like cold calling, where you just like call up a bunch of outbound prospects and you just try to get them to agree to a meeting with you. So we basically train salespeople on cold calling. We also do like inbound phone call training. So let's say like someone signed up for a demo on your website. They came in through like your inbound channel, and then you have to actually sell them and convince them to buy your product. So that's also like a skill that a salesperson has to develop over time. So we build like training services for that, basically to train your salespeople. So I'll actually give you guys a demo. I was hoping we could show it, but it's not working, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, is it working? No. So it's really fun, the demo. So what I'm gonna ask is like, who's like a brave person that's willing to come up and talk to one of our bots? So essentially, we built bots that pretend to be customers, and you have to try to sell these bots something. So you pitch to the bots, and they will throw hard objections at you, and they will throw all kinds of curveballs at you, and you have to be able to handle them and try pitching your product anyway. So does anyone want to volunteer for that? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Whoa!
This is really going to highlight that should have been an SDR.
So this is going to be.
What am I selling?
So, what product is it that you're working on right now?
AI sales automation.
Perfect. And what does it do?
Actually, very similar to what Persona AI does. So maybe I'm not sure about that. Okay, kind of the same thing. We basically compile a bunch of different data providers and intent data.
Okay.
And then we utilize basically 5 different AI sales agents across like email, text, LinkedIn, social media, and FCC just made it illegal for AI phone calls, but we were doing AI phone calls as well. And then we integrate that to a CRM. So the experience for a B2B company is their AEs can pull up to a meeting, or they wake up in the morning, see how many meetings they have booked, go close the deal. And that's the experience that we're trying to build. But yeah, that's called SellNow.
Awesome. And what's the ICP for the company? Like who do you
Yeah,
guys?
this customer prospect in this case is, we can target any B2B company where it's finding a lot of traction in the generative AI space because they understand the model, they understand what the technology is, and they're also trying to get as much exposure as possible and stand out from the crowd. So being able to do that with an automation tool kind of works.
Okay.
So usually a mid-sized AI company.
Okay, and what job titles are you targeting?
Mostly executives, senior executives, sales directors.
Sales directors. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Because we have a director of sales on Hyperbound. It's a bot. It's completely an AI bot that's going to pretend to be a director of sales. And we're going to have Kabir, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Kabir, you're going to basically cold call Jane Bowen. That's her name. She's a director of sales. And the company she works at is called Agile Solutions.
Okay.
And are you ready for this?
Not really, but yeah.
Let's do it. So, quick disclaimer here. She is pretty rude. She does not want to be cold called right now.
Okay.
You got to be really nice to her and just sweet talk her.
Okay, I'm trying to think of all my cold calling methods I never do.
So go ahead. I turn up the sound as much as possible, so you just gotta get started whenever you're ready.
Alright, sounds good.
Who is this?
Hi Jane, my name is Kolbir. I'm with Cellnet. Just want to go ahead and give you a quick call and see if you have 30 seconds of your time. Is that okay if I can take that right now?
No, it's not really a good time to go ahead.
Yeah.
What's this about?
Well, I just came across your company, Agile Solutions, and I saw that you guys did product management software. And given that our target market really aligns with the ideal customers that you guys are targeting, figured that it would be worth having a conversation with you to identify if our synergies could help bring some more revenue to your account executives and your sales team.
Okay, get to the point.
Well,
What exactly are you offering, and why should I care?
well,
My time is not cheap.
Well, I definitely understand that your time is not cheap. You definitely seem like a great salesperson. Your team has already been super successful. Would love to know if your salespeople are getting the amount of meetings and how many people are meeting their quotas.
Look, I'm not going to dive deep into our sales metrics with you on a cold call. I can say that there's always room for improvement, but I'm not convinced you have what we need. Why should I give you any more time?
Well, if your people are not meeting their quotas, say about 50% of your salespeople aren't hitting them on a consistent basis, we can get those salespeople more meetings. The way we do that is with a variety of AI solutions that meets your company with where you're at. We can plug and play, we can make it work for you, and it's cheaper than going out with our competitive alternatives. So would that be worth having a future conversation in more depth?
I'm not convinced. I don't think this is a good fit. Please don't call me back. Goodbye.
Ooh. All good. All right, everyone, round of applause. So tell us about what your experience was like, Kolbir. What did it feel like?
Well, I mean, it definitely felt like as high stakes as like a normal cold call would be. Usually when you're like met with like that much resistance, I feel like you panic under the phone, and I feel like I was kind of panicking under the phone. So like, even though I know it's an AI, it still felt like more than realistic, which I think is like important.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you so much, Kolbir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
So that's like a quick demo of how the AI works, and we have a lot of different AI agents. You can build your own AI agents on the platform as well. So based on whatever your ICP is, we can build you bots for that real quickly. Yeah.
Is there any way Kolbir would have convinced the AI, or is it auto set to like say no forever?
Yeah, so this one was set on like the hardest mode. Basically, we have different difficulty levels. So this one's definitely like, nobody gets it on the first try. Even the most experienced salespeople we've had try it, never get it on the first try. So it usually takes people around like at least 6-7 tries to get through to it. You just need a really good opener. You need to be very convincing, get to the point. Use the right sales methodology that we've like kind of coded into her. So yeah, that's how you get through to her. But so what we have after that, and I know you guys can't see this, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. Basically, we have like a transcript of the entire conversation. And then we also have some stats on the conversation, like how many filler words did you use, like what is your talk listen ratio on the call, what is your talk speed, right? And we also have like a scorecard feature that actually scores you on different sections of the call.
Oh, you can try it now.
Oh, really? This will take my life. So, yeah, basically you get like talk listen ratio, filler words, the talk speed, the longest monologue, right? You get an entire transcript of the whole conversation, right? You also get a scorecard. So it shows you like, okay, on the opener section of the call, how did he actually do? On the closing, the gating. So, I'm sorry, Kolbir,
That's okay.
it says 0 out of 6 this time around. That's the whole point, right? You gotta practice on this thing until you get that 6 out of 6. So now we also have like questions, like all the questions you asked on the call, right? As well as like all the objections that Jane here made, and then how you actually handle those objections, right? So it's like a quick way for managers, sales managers to come in here and see how the reps are performing. And the beauty of all of this is like, you can basically talk to this AI for as long as you want, as many times as you want, which you could never do in real life with a real prospect. So it's kind of, that's what's so different about this product.
Can it give you suggestions on what you can improve?
Yeah, so that's what this scorecard feature is essentially. So what this does is for every company, we build custom scorecards. So let's say like there's a specific sales methodology that your sales team needs to follow, right? Or you need to ask a specific question in every call. We automatically identify that here, and if you don't do that, it will basically mark it as like, okay, didn't ask this question, and then that way you know that you need to improve that. So it's like almost like a yes or no question that it's like checking for multiple different criteria.
But I need to predefine those.
So when we onboard the customer, it's basically just part of the onboarding process. We build like that custom scorecard pretty quickly. Yeah. And I mean, eventually down the line, the goal is to make that fully self-serve as well. Like you just jump into the platform, customize your own scorecard. Like we'll have a bunch of like a whole UI for that, make it as easy as possible.
I know that this is a sales product, but I'm very curious if it's malleable enough to do negotiation.
100%. Yeah. So in fact, we already have negotiation in what context? Because there's also sales negotiation.
Say you're negotiating with a wholesaler, you're a retailer, and you're trying to fix a price that is attractive for yourself.
Yeah. 100%. So we can support basically any type of human-to-human interaction, right? So in fact, like we can do customer success, we can do customer support as well. We can do like negotiation, we can do close calls. Like this is just cold calls, right? Top of funnel. So we also do discovery calls and warm calls, and then beyond that, after the discovery call, there's some like closing calls, right? So we can also simulate all of those. So it's kind of unlimited in that aspect. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
So in terms of like, I mean, I'm sure this is like more so internal, but for like being like a company, for example, where we have a lot of like account executive sales development reps that are doing some of our like initial outreach or warm lead outreach.
Yeah.
Is the product roadmap of this kind of look like? Sorry, question kind of slipped me, but
Yeah, no worries. Do that.
would the product roadmap of this involve kind of being able to like set in different situations, like being able to create a very specified situation you practice before going into like that specific
100%. So the way some of our customers use it today basically is every week they know who they're calling, right? Like they have a list of prospects. So basically they go into Hyperbound first, build kind of those like the closest prospects to those on Hyperbound, practice all of those before the real calls. Like one of our customers recently, last one. So one of our customers recently actually booked a demo with Nike after practicing with a bot that works at Nike right before. So, yeah.
Off topic, what was your initial idea before you pivoted to this?
So initially, actually, same thing as Persona AI.
Oh.
So the previous idea, I think they also pivoted a bit recently, but the email personalization product that you guys had, we had basically a very similar product to that. Like it would automatically personalize emails, write them, almost like an AI SDR of some sort. And we just felt that the tech wasn't quite there yet, and we just found this to be a lot bigger of a problem just from our user interviews. So suspicious. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, last question, and then I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we're almost done. Then we have 2 more presentations, so maybe if we can hold it offline, because
Sure.
we want to do networking.
Sounds good.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Sam.